welcome to Just My Opinion with Kyle Bowles. And once again, I still am Kyle Bowles. Wearing my Blowfly shirt for people out there in TV land.
Got reason if they wanna go eat, you know I'm gonna feed them. If you coming for me, if you ready for a demon, I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted, and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood in my tongue.
We've avoided the topic for a few shows, but it's time to go back to my stomping grounds of pro wrestling. First thing I want to do before I jump into a couple topics is give a shout out to RVA Pro Wrestling here in Richmond. Timmy Danger, Neil Sharkey, they have done one hell of a job with giving pro wrestling a home in Richmond. I've seen a lot of people come and go in this city. The last really good Richmond promotion was GXW, who I'm working with now on the show, a buddy from there. But really consistently right now, I'm so impressed with the RVA Pro Wrestling, the ability they've sold these shows out literally in hours. Their promotion is great. Their production is great. I just can't say enough good things about these guys. I did want to just step out, say something, and encourage everybody. When those tickets go on sale, try your hardest to get them because they're quick. They go quick, and it's a hell of a show with great beer and, most importantly, great entertainment. But let's talk about wrestling as a national product. AEW's All In is tomorrow night. A lot of big matches on the show. I do want to say a funny story that I heard yesterday before I get into the matches. On Busted Open yesterday, there's some terms going around. Demure. And what's the other side of that? It's something with a B. You don't know. But anyway, our producer nodded. He knew the first one. But anyway, they were talking about it with LaGreca and the girl, Denise Salcedo. And both of them were both not the bad side of it. So they called their correspondent in England for the All In show. And he's like, I was listening to you guys. And can't do an English accent. But telling them that there's terms like that in England that he doesn't understand. And he said this one. He goes, yeah, there's one called Raw Dog. And you could hear Dave LaGreca just go, what? He goes, yeah, like when you go to a city and you don't have any plans or transportation or a place to stay and you raw dog it. And Denise Salcedo said, raw dogging is a completely different thing in the United States. And he goes, like bad? He goes, depends on how you look at it. But it's so funny how words can change from side to side. Just a funny anecdote I heard yesterday on Busted Open, which is a hell of a show. All In, Britt Baker versus the artist formerly known as Sasha Banks and currently known as the CEO, Monet, Mercedes Monet, the fake CEO, the piped-in chant CEO. I mean, you don't see one person's mouth moving, but it sounds like 3,000 million people or 3 trillion people are saying it. You know, and she's dancing to fake piped-in CEOs. It's amazing. I just feel like her stock has gone down so far. She needs this win, though. Don't get me wrong. Britt Baker, to me, is one of the pillars. And at one time, you might have said she was the face of AEW. There was a time where she was their number one face. And she was a heel at the time, but she was the face of the place. But now Britt Baker's back. She's healthy. She's playing the role of the face. When you're going against Monet, who's getting, to me, go-away heat, not like heat, like the kind she's trying to get. She's getting go-away heat. Baker's going to be the fan favorite. She's going to come in and beating her with a kendo stick like she did and did a whole bunch of bad things. And I truly believe everybody'd still be rooting for her because Monet is just that not over right now. But if she were to lose this match, I don't know where you go from there. I feel like something cheap's got to happen where she's going to win, but she desperately needs this win because right now her stock is at an all-time low, and I feel like her presentation at WWE was more serious, but I feel like she has more say in the presentation at AEW. And a lot of people are like, creative freedom is a great thing to have as a wrestler and entertainer. I will tell you, when I was young and green, they told me what they wanted me to say. And I said it to the best of my abilities. As I got more confident and more accustomed to having a mic in my hand, I don't think in the last 10 years anybody told me what to say. So you earn your stripes. And for her, it's kind of gone backwards. As there's rumors she has creative control of her character. So if that's the case, she's calling this crap and laying it out in a favorable way for herself. And I'm sure in her mind this is a favorable presentation of her, but it's backfired. It's hard to book yourself. I don't know many bookers who were active performers who didn't somehow, whether their intention was to do it or not, slightly give themselves advantages or belts or pops or positions on the card. You know, I'm kind of glad I never booked because I know I'd be looking out for number one. No, that's kidding. But there's potentially some truth in that. But I just feel like she's been a colossal disappointment in AEW, and I'm personally would love to see Britt Baker win just because I like Britt Baker, but I feel like in the scheme of things, this is a big match for Monet, and she needs to win. You've got MJF taking on Will Ospreay in a away game for MJF and a home game for Ospreay. They're also 1 win, MJF, 0 wins, Ospreay, which leads me to believe that everything kind of evens up at All In, and Will Ospreay will beat MJF cleanly at All In. So does that make the new American title go back to the international title? I don't know. Will Ospreay, to me, I tried not to like him. I don't know why. Thought like this guy's annoying. But about by the third time, I was like, wait a minute, this guy's actually, he'll trip up on his words, but he seems more genuinely giving a real to person, true to himself kind of promo versus some of the scripted crap that AEW throws out there. Like, he really does seem like he's got a little more leeway with the mic, but he's entertaining. Very, very, very entertaining. That's A, as a performer, B, you know, with the mic. Like, he draws you in, he makes you pay attention. And as they say in wrestling, good heat, bad heat doesn't matter. Any heat you're getting means somebody's watching and caring about you, and that's all you want. So when like the John Cena thing, Cena sucks, Cena, yeah, let's go Cena. They're like, everybody hates John Cena. There were 19,000 people in that arena on Monday Night Raw when Cena at any given time was in the ring. And probably 18,950 of them were saying one thing or another. That's a huge win. That's why he was the face of the place. Why he was the man and continues to be the man. Swerve, our hometown hero. Swerve Strickland puts it all on the line. AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Bryan Danielson, who will retire if he loses this match. Man, the promo that Danielson gave the other night, expletive-ridden, but man, what a fire promo. Man, just fire. Really makes you believe that this is it. Like, he loses, you know, he feels it. Like, he's got to win this match. I believe he wins this match. Cool stipulation you can have. He's not even under contract anymore. I'm going to get back to Swerve, because Swerve's amazing. But Danielson, without a contract, every title defense after this, the importance and the eyes on it will be astronomical. Oh, he's the champ, but if he loses, it's his last match. So every match he has is potentially his last match. And the title's on the line. So you can carry that for many shows or as long as he wants to and is willing to and is able to. As he's already divulged, and we talked about it last show, where he will need neck surgery by the end of the year. Bryan Danielson, he said, I was the best effing wrestler in the world for the last 20 years. That's what he said the other night. There may be a claim to that. As a pure wrestler, he may have a legit claim at that. It's amazing the guy went from a career that was completely done, with no chance of a comeback, to really having a second run that's been as good as the first or maybe even better. A nice run in WWE, only to come to AEW and continue to be great. And we know how many WWE stars have gone to AEW and kind of gotten lost in the shuffle or just getting paid and not being on TV. So I've got to get back to Swerve. Swerve as a champion has been great. Swerve to me was better or presented better chasing the belt. And that was as a heel that was kind of getting over as a face. I think Swerve Probably has some unfinished business with Adam Page, which I have a feeling he's going to interfere in this match. Somehow, I just don't know why I do. Hangman Page is another guy that I just thought was vanilla and Lance Storm boring. He's really, even when he went heel, I was like, whatever, man, just boring. He's damn good. He's really turned the page. Like he's might be their best heel right now. Like he's just uncontrollable and has shown a side of him I didn't even know he had in him. So kudos to him for the character he's presenting now. But I have a funny feeling he's going to end up in that match with Swerve Strickland. Your future could not be any brighter. Heck, last night he was, I don't know if you saw it, but he was singing with Fozzy on stage with Jericho doing a cover. The guy is killing it in every venue. He's killing it in social media. He's killing it with his podcast. He's killing it in the ring. Last night he was killing it on stage. The guy has just amazingly taken off and soared in such a short period of time. Obviously, the grind before this short period of time was an extensive grind. He put his work in and his dues in and earned it, busted his ass. But where he's, from getting released by the WWE to going to AEW and now being one of their very elite stars in such a short period of time, his star is cemented, and it's only going to continue to shine and rise. He's got such a bright. And he's one of those dudes who's going to be equally good as a face or a heel. And that's, a lot of people can't do it. I was a crappy face. Crappy. But I was a good heel. A lot of guys can do one or the other. It's not easy to do both. And he's going to be able to do both for as long as he wants. And not in a Big Show kind of way where he's flipping the tide every 2 weeks. I heard Bubba Ray Dudley, they were asking him if he wanted Kevin Owens, which we're about to talk about, to turn heel before this match. He goes, no, actually it was Mark Henry, excuse me. He said, no. He goes, let this man remain a face. He goes, I do not want him turning into the Big Show. That was from Mark Henry. So like Big Show is kind of the benchmark for being a face heel in short periods of time. He flipped back and forth more than anybody. He's still a beloved character though. Quick rundown. We got next week, we have the Bash in Berlin. A couple big matches on that. Gunther in a hometown game versus the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. It's an interesting match because we all know in the past, like a few months back, they fought for the King of the Ring Championship, and Gunther defeated Randy Orton, but there was visible evidence of it really. Randy Orton's shoulder was completely up, and it was really just a 2 count that they hit 3. And they straight up admitted it following Raw. Triple H said, hey, mistakes happen. So there was no doubt that pinfall was not legit. So when Randy Orton questions whether Gunther believes he can beat him, I think he's right. He's getting in his head a little bit. The voice inside Randy Orton's head are getting inside Gunther's head. Because Gunther doesn't know he really can beat him. He only got a 2. He may have gotten the W, but deep down he knows he didn't get a 3. So I think this is an interesting match. I don't see Gunther losing, but wouldn't it be crazy if Randy Orton went in there and upset him? I got Gunther winning this match, but I think Randy Orton is a great opponent for him. You've got one of the best veterans, a legit threat, and a guy that can match brutality with Gunther. And so I think that's a hell of a... It's going to be a banger, as Sheamus would say. Give me Gunther getting the win. Cody Rhodes, Randy's buddy Cody Rhodes then goes against Kevin Owens. The 3 of them been hanging out a lot till this quick shift for Randy Orton over to Raw to challenge Gunther. But kind of a little 3-way thing going between those guys with Cody often getting held while the others were getting their butts kicked. But being the good guys that both Owens and Orton have been, they've not been mad at Cody, at least outwardly, for letting these butt kickings go that he has no control of anyway. But they've done them, right in front of him. So I think Kevin Owens is going to lose this match. I think Kevin Owens stays true as a face and just loses the match. Last night on SmackDown, Kevin Owens teased with the with the belt, that he was going to hit Cody from behind, but he actually ran up, handed the belt to Cody, and went after the villains, the Australian guys of whatever they are. Grayson Waller, what's the other guy's name? The little punk dude. Austin Theory. Man, Austin Theory got a win over John Cena at WrestleMania 2 years ago. Supposed to propel him. It hasn't. He was another McMahon favorite, and I think the guy's got unlimited talent, but man, he gets lost in the shuffle. He's got like Miz-like talent to me, except for maybe he's a better wrestler. And then finally, the big love match and the big traitor match. Parts of the Judgment Days, past parts of the Judgment Day, currently are going to square off where Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest will go up against Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, my favorite wrestling character, Dominic Mysterio. It should be a great match, man. One thing about Liv, like, I think people underestimate how good she's gotten in the ring. Like, she was kind of medium a few years back, back when her and Ripley were tag champs, and some of the other big storylines she was in with, like Ronda Rousey, she looked overmatched. Like, you could tell when Ronda Rousey and her got in the ring, you would say there's no chance in hell that this girl can beat Ronda Rousey. Well, now you look at Rhea Ripley, who to me is obviously more intimidating looking than Ronda Rousey, versus Liv Morgan, but somehow you believe Liv Morgan can beat her. Liv Morgan has played this character to the hilt. Sexy, conniving, underhanded, deceitful, vengeful, beautiful, just all of it. Liv Morgan is elite now, man. I don't know anybody who's grown more than Liv Morgan. She really looks the part. Like, previously, she looked to me like she was not minor league, but like an NXT person who'd just been called out by the deer in headlights a little bit. Not comfortable in her own skin, or not sure of who she was at the time. She knows damn well who she is now. She's a bad woman, and she's the WWE World Champion. Liv Morgan is awesome, and I predict, despite the Terror Twins' intimidating size, strength, and brutality, and reason to get back at these two, I've got Liv and Dom going over to Bash in Berlin, and I hope it's Dominic pinning Priest. Dom, man, if you're a heel, your object is to make people hate you. No one, as we said last week, how do you go from being a heel to being more of a heel? Like turning heel, like while you're a heel. I've never seen that, really. And he did it. Kudos. Dominic Mysterio, that guy is a star. Who saw it coming? Not me. But he's a big star. So next week, Bash in Berlin. Your winners, Gunther, Cody, Liv, Dom, AEW All In, your winners. I hate even saying it. Monique Monet. She's going to win, though. Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. They'll probably be correct, but right now, they're just my opinion. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us a like, subscribe.
Feel the blood
Grateful
creeping
for you.
up from the heathens.
Have a good
Got
day.
will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving.